Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from CES 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me for this segment, we have Gary Shapiro, President of the Consumer Technology Association, known as CTA, also the producer of CES. We're here to discuss the importance of global engagement at CES and some of the other highlights that we've experienced so far in 2024. Gary, it is great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Well, thank you, Jill. Because you're here, it's a great show.
It is a great show, and I want to plug my hall. This is the AV Hall. And the diversity of attendees here this year, the different types of segments that are here, even the industrial companies are represented in EV this year. Give us some demographics around the attendees.
Well, it's really interesting. Actually, of anything in the United States, this attracts more international attendees than anything we could find, whether it's a sporting event or a business event. We will have over 40,000 people from outside the United States, and then another 90,000 more from the United States. So it's a little bit over 1 out of 3 are non-US, but they come from all over. There's a tremendous amount from Asia, from Europe, and from everywhere else. South Korea has over 10,000 people here. Certainly every country in Europe is engaged here, not only attending, but exhibiting. And of course there's South America, obviously North America, Canada's very big, Mexico's very big. And even some tiny countries are represented. Over 150 countries have sent people here.
Let's talk about auto mobility. That seems to be one of the key themes that we've been discussing, certainly on Trade Talks, considering we are in the hall that is hosting auto and mobility. What are some of the key trends that you've discerned?
Well, mobility of every type. It's just not, cars. Mm-hmm. There's the entire ecosystem of cars, plus there's a focus on electric, there's a focus on self-driving, and then there's all these vehicles which should become technology, in a sense, partners in people getting things done, whether it's construction equipment or agricultural equipment. And the common theme, though, is not only mobility in this hall and elsewhere. There's about 500 different companies exhibiting something having to do with mobility, but whether it's on air, in the water, or on land, or construction. And we've even had a Korean company that's one of the largest construction equipment makers keynoting and showing incredible things they're doing around the world, including, some of these are becoming robots, some of these vehicles. At the very largest level, they're avoiding accidents, they're being very efficient and very green.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite displays that's here is John Deere, showcasing farming equipment. You don't necessarily equate that with technology, specifically when we're kind of like in that tech lane, if you will, but I think in our hall, specifically the West Hall, one of the most incredible displays that we've seen here. Let's shift gears a bit, talk about enterprise AI everywhere. How is enterprise showing up at CES?
Well, we estimate, this is a trade show. It's not open to consumers, so the 130,000 plus people that are here are all connected. We'll have over 5,000 journalists, maybe 6,000, as well as investors, everyone in the distribution chain, the innovators, and it's mostly a CXO marketplace, if you will. It's where they gather if you're in the business of innovation. We estimate about 30 to 40% of the exhibitors are business to business. They're selling products that businesses buy, whether it's pure technology, or it's cloud, or it's something else, or it's marketing services of some type. But the connection is innovation. And then of the other 50 or 60% or so are ending up with consumer products, whether it's specialized mirrors for makeup, as we see with some incredible presentations, or things for people with disabilities, or the entertainment products, the office products, the educational products that are here. But the theme again is technology, innovation, making the world better. We're tied into the United Nations themes of sustainability and all these fundamental human securities about access to food, water, air, healthcare, and now there's a new one the UN has agreed upon a few months ago at the opening of the General Assembly, is access to technology itself to make your life better.
Anything evolving with AI policy or any other notes from the policy angle that you'd like to highlight?
Oh, sure, there's several discussions going on. We have government officials from outside the United States and inside the United States, and one of the big areas is AI policy. What should we do? Business is saying, look, it's not that we don't want laws, we want the guardrails, we want to know what the rules are. In the United States, we need a national policy, a privacy law. That's one thing other countries have, our competitors we don't have. China doesn't have privacy, Europe has a privacy law. We got states doing their own thing, confusing the heck out of anyone in business. And there's other issues as well involving data collection, involving how you have safeguards, cybersecurity. There's also some policies that affect technology, which are extremely important and being discussed. All sides are here. We Doesn't matter, we're a platform, we welcome all opinions and we put all opinions on platforms, even if they disagree with us, because we're a 100-year-old trade association.
And exactly, you don't think of it as 100 years old. It actually started off, if I understand it correctly, as a radio trade association, back in the radio days, if you will.
Well, these are still the radio days. We started as the Radio Manufacturers Association to fight a radio tax in 1924, and we moved on to like a zillion other products. Radio is one of them, but the weirdest thing is we are fighting a radio mandate that Congress is pushing to preserve this ancient technology that we started on called AM radio. They want to require it in every car, including electric cars, even though it burdens electric cars, and it's because it's a very hostile environment for AM.
Tell us about Eureka Hall. This is where all the really cool startups are, right?
We have 1,400 companies, which is a record, that are startups in Eureka Park. It's a great area. Many countries are represented there, but entrepreneurs galore, and it's inspiring. It shows people who have scraped their dollars just to have this presence, and we try to make it as cost efficient as possible for them, so they can meet journalists, retailers, investors, partners, people like you, and get their exposure to the world. In fact, Shark Tank is even here doing their thing and trying to see if they could find some people, and some of the sharks themselves are roaming the hall.
I'm sure they are. Gary, let's wrap up and talk about the importance of global engagement in CES. You touched on it earlier as it pertains to policy, but more holistically, how important is the global engagement aspect of this?
Well, it's important globally because these solutions to human problems require the best minds around the world to help fix them. And innovation today requires cross-company, cross-industry cooperation. You must cross-license patents. You must work together to create something even better. So this is all about, at the very top level, partnering, cutting business deals, moving forward, and it's around the globe. I mean, China's here, other portions of the world are here, Europe, and the leading companies in so many different areas are here, but they're here to do businesses with each other, other exhibitors, as much as they are to get media attention or investor focus, or to find distributors or retailers for their products.
All right, Gary, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on
Thank
Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me throughout CES. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.